Welcome back to Boston has entered the chat. All right, George, this week, all we're going to hear is, ready, down, hood, hood, Drake May.
He's got better cadence. He's got better cadence than that.
Yeah?
But it's going to be all that with pads on.
You like my snap count?
No, not one bit. That's why you're a receiver and a safety back in the day, not a QB.
Not a good one either.
Look, man, the pads are finally going to come on. We're going to see real football as close to it as possible.
Yes.
But when hitting starts in training camp, that's when you really see what this team can look like. And you know, for Mike Vrabel, this is the most important week for him. Yeah. He's really going to get that first taste. Cool, met you in the meetings, weight room, seen you on the practice field. Now the pads are on. He's really going to find out what type of guys he got.
What has he got on the offensive line? Because, look, everything starts and ends. They are the alpha and the omega as far as I'm concerned. I feel confident in the Patriots' defense. I feel confident in Drake May, year 2, his development. I feel extremely confident in this coaching staff. Vrabel, McDaniels, we know the names, okay? But this offensive line, I always say this, that they can't get any worse than what we've seen in the past few years, and I do believe that. So by almost default, they will be improved. But my question is, how much improved will this offensive line be? Are we talking about a good offensive line around here? Because that would be great, George. Or are we just talking about competent offensive line play? That's my question, and I want to start to at least have an idea of how to answer it at the end of this week. Does that make sense for the offensive line? And
that's one where, with the pads coming on, we will see what Will Campbell, how he matches up with the Harold Landry and Keon White.
Yes.
See how Morgan Moses looks, we know what to get. It's also, and I'll keep bringing it up, the interior of the offensive line. How does Garrett Bradbury do against Milton Williams and Christian Barmore? Because if he can't get the job done, okay, how does Jared Wilson, a rookie, do to that? Right. You either have a dispensable vet or you have a rookie getting his first licks of NFL football taking on those two guys.
Sure.
And at left guard, too, is it Cole Strange? Is it Caden Wallace?
Can Cole Strange even play, George?
Is it Jared Wilson? He could play. Can he stay healthy?
Well, can he stay healthy?
And that's what the question mark's been with him.
Right.
We are going to find out a lot in the trenches with this team.
Yeah, we are.
And then the same thing on the outside with the wide receivers as well, though.
Yeah.
How does Stephon Diggs look when Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis with pads on can put their hands on him, really disrupt his timing?
Are they allowing him to move laterally?
They're letting him. Oh yeah, they're letting him participate in 11-on-11s. But that'll be the thing too. Okay, is he fully participating when the pads come on and hit him?
That's what I want to see.
Because that's a whole different beast. Certain drills individually they hold him out on.
Yeah.
But 7-on-7, 11-on-11s,
he'll be out there.
He's been a full participant, which is good for him. But Pop Douglas, Kyle Williams, how do you guys do against these cornerbacks who are only getting better? And that's what it's going to be. It starts at the line of scrimmage. How does offensive line look? Biggest question mark of this whole team.
Sure.
And I understand all the additions they made. Will Campbell's a question mark if he can last for long-term at left tackle.
Yes.
We don't know what they have at left guard. Center's up in the air. And right tackle Morgan Moses, you need him to be healthy and continue to produce at his old age.
Well, you mentioned Will Campbell. He spoke about how, hey, I'm getting better every day going against these absolute monsters on the defensive line. Take a listen.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Keon's, extremely talented guy, but and I'm just super fortunate to have a guy like Keon, but not only him, guys like B. Moore, Milt, Casey, Harold, a lot of those guys have played a lot more football than me. So anything that, that they can help me with, give me tips and things that they see that I'm doing that can help my game and, just help me get better in any way, that's what a rookie asks for. So I'm super fortunate to have that.
Well, is there one of those guys that maybe has given you more, like just whether it's Milton, somebody who just like constantly talking to you, telling you?
They're all great dudes. I mean, so it's all, if I go ask, they're going to tell me and, vice versa. If they were to ask me something, I'm going to tell them, it's just kind of, the culture we're trying to create around here, just, guys helping each other out. And, they've been super good to me.
George, I can't wait till these games are real. It feels so good. Do you know yesterday was the last Sunday that we will have with no football in our lives?
There's football this Thursday.
Well, yeah, just for yesterday, for Sundays. Yesterday was the last Sunday we won't have any football until February of 2026.
It's back.
Can we just clap it up for that?
Toby, you're clapping.
Here's to you, football. Here's to you, Patriots football. Let's get louder. Here's to you, Drake May. Here's to you, Mike Vrabel.
It's back, baby. That's the growth spike right there.
I cannot wait. Man, no more 4-win seasons. Knock on wood.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't talk too soon. But that's part of it. And you hear Will Campbell speaking there.
Yes.
That's what brings into it, where that's a guy that's a rook that's excited to learn and learn from his failures. He brings it up, his debut in the SEC. Test out the hands, Toby. Test out the hands.
Here we go. And woo!
Easy.
Smooth.
He's excited to get after it with pros and vets and to learn from them. He'll get his butt whooped by Milton Williams and Christian Barmore, who have been in the league. Harold Landry, who's a vet.
Dogs.
Keon White, who's entering year 3.
Dog.
And then he's going to learn from a Morgan Moses, a Garrett Bradbury, from a Josh McDaniels and a Doug Marrone.
Right.
He's excited to be a student of the game now developing at the NFL level, and that's huge.
Okay.
You guys saw the hands, too. Next time I'll bring it in. You always got to look it in for ball security.
By the way, it's live. It's spotlights in here. You could have lost it in the light. No, my man is prime time. All right, let's talk about this. We're all on this high. We just clapped it up for football. We're saying the offensive line's improved. The defense is going to be good. We love Mike Vrabel. Let me bring it down.
Yeah,
Debbie Downer
come
style.
down.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
Jalen Polk. Javon Baker. Were these wasted draft picks? Because it sure does feel like it, buddy.
Yeah.
Damn it!
I don't sweat Javon Baker. He was a late draft pick. You're throwing a dart at the wall.
It's still a wasted pick.
That's fine. He's a day 3 pick. He's a day 3 pick. It's the fact that Jalen Polk was taken where he was taken, and ahead of, let's just start with Ladd McConkey.
Oh,
That's
God.
it. And Ladd McConkey could have been that slot. And maybe you still end up with Stephon Diggs. But the long-term construction of this receiving room would still make sense with a Kyle Williams who can line up wide out in alignment, is good down the field, where Ladd is that reliable slot receiver underneath.
That would
and
work.
then again, we really want to get into the Nerd Talker roster building. Then that makes it where you can trade a Kendrick Bourne and put him in a package to get something you need, like a left tackle, to get something you need, like, some other skill positions, maybe a tight end, maybe a running back, maybe address the offensive line or build defensive line depth as well. That's what all this could have been. So the Jalen Polk one, that's the one that stings the most, man.
What's going on there, though? Because you had a take that you thought it was because maybe he's out of shape right now. Do you still feel that way? Are you hearing anymore? Like, what the hell's going on? Why isn't this guy on the field?
There aren't the updates of where, he is after his offseason shoulder surgery, right? And that's where my mind went immediately was the surgery, but you would still be on the PUP NFI.
Yes.
And you can still be on the practice field. You're on the lower field. You're not in shape. You haven't passed conditioning testing.
Dude.
Now, Mike Vrabel came out and said it was something, sore muscles, soft tissue, something that they want to monitor. But when he was talking about Jalen Polk and the injury, there was a part of him where he'll talk about other guys and glow about their hard work. He wasn't bringing that on with Polk, and he was saying hopefully he'll get to that point.
That's awful.
And that's where I go, we'll see. We will see.
Listen, bro, this is another topic for another chat, and that's fine. Maybe we can do it tomorrow. But this feels, both of these receivers, if they are wasted draft picks, which it sounds like that's the direction we're headed in if we're not there already, that's a fireable offense. I mean, am I the only one? It's like, I'm pointing at this like, how can you get away with this? Those are 2 wasted draft picks at a position of need, and for years, eons, ages, we blamed Bill Belichick for the drafting and non-development of wide receivers.
Yeah.
Can't blame him now. I'm looking at you, Elliot Wolf.
And this is also, too, where the Patriots were at 34. They traded back with the Chargers. Chargers came up and took Ladd. And then they dropped back to 37, ended up with Jalen Polk. In their eyes, they got the guy they wanted still and got more draft capital. But Ladd McConkey was instant impact,
he was a
reliable slot.
Yes. Louise.
He was the next Jacoby Myers. And that's what you thought we had with Jalen Polk. But then the red flags come up on what he was in a way uncoachable. And even at that, too, with the signings they did this offseason, they still need D-line depth. They could have gotten Braden Fisk. They need depth in their secondary. They could have gone Cooper DeJean. They could have gone Kamari Lassiter.
Yeah.
It was the guys that Polk was taking over. It's the same pain of the N'Keal Harry draft pick, the guys he was taking over, all those all-pro receivers and pro bowlers. That's what it feels like with Jalen Polk.
All right, so we have this week of camp, and then we're getting close to that joint practice with the Commanders, too. Is there anything kind of leading up to that joint practice that you need to see once we get there? Hey, we're in the joint practice. Team looks good. Maybe it's offensive line, looks competent. Drake May seems comfortable, pre-snap. Like, what are you sort of seeing as we head towards that, the work with the Commanders?
I mean, it still starts with how does that offensive line play?
Yeah.
But then how does his defense look against Jaden Daniels? He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league after one rookie year. But it's his threat with his legs. It's how good he is as a downfield passer. How does this defensive scheme match up with a team like that? 4 pass rushers. You're going to go man on the outside. How did the safeties look on the back end? That's what it would come down to.
God.
And that's what I'm watching. It's because the power of that team is the offense.
Yeah.
So that's when the eyes are, okay, this is a defense that will have to carry the team.
And we all think they're capable of doing that. We think.
I think so.
Certainly the first month of the season helps.
Yes.
Schedule-wise.
Yes.
And then there's also some, it gets soft midway through as well. We do think the defense will be the strength of this team. But I will say this offensively, particularly if the offensive line holds up, sounds like we think it could. I think as the season goes on, because football season now feels a lot like the NBA or baseball. Like the regular season's really long now in the NFL, and it didn't feel like that for a long time. It does now.
For better
in
or
all
worse.
these games,
I don't think that's good if it feels
I don't
longer.
either, but it does.
We like more football, but.
Yes, but. So I say that to say, I think by the time, and we'll see if this team makes a playoff push. Who the hell knows? But I think by the time we're getting towards the end of the season, I would not be shocked if the offense either catches up to the defense or becomes like where we're sitting around here like this Drake May kid could be really, really good. Because it takes longer for an offense to kind of gel. And the nuance of offense, it just takes a longer time.
And that's always football. The defense is pretty simple. It's man up. This is your gap.
Yes.
You're guessing what the opposing team is doing, where the offense is all about timing and Josh McDaniels' flow.
Yes.
It's also where they could get into. It's that stretch of New Orleans, Tennessee, Cleveland, Atlanta. That's when we can see the offense really catch steam.
That's the soft part I was talking about in that schedule. I can't wait till we get there so we can get some dubs for this season.